Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. You'll proudly mow the lawn, ask if anybody noticed you mowed the lawn, tell people to stay off the lawn, compare it to your neighbor's lawn, and complain about having to mow the lawn again. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance, which, of course, will go right into the lawn. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Hey everyone, this is Kevin, aka the Cleveland Strangler at the Brothers Commonplace. Thanks for checking out our podcast. And just a quick disclaimer before we start. We are a comedy podcast that covers many serious events. We aren't here to purposely offend or disrespect any of the people in the topics, but at the same time, we'll be trying to make each other laugh and crack jokes. So thanks again for listening. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff.
All right, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come on down. Come on down. Hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the Brothers Commonplace tonight.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brothers Commonplace, a comedy podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And before we get into today's topic, I want to introduce you to the full gang, the full Monty, all my friends. Here they are, boys.
What's up, guys? This is Tim, also known as the reason for the teardrops in your guitar.
Oh, yes. Hell yes.
Yeah.
What up? This is Spence, also known as Booty Man.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Hi, this is Andrew, and you're not gonna get away with stealing my boat. Hits.
Nice. SpongeBob.
Hey, this is Toof, and sitting next to Andrew kind of got the front of my underwear like my favorite band, Stained.
Oh, shit, dude.
And this is Kevin, the Kid, a.k.a. the Cleveland Strangle Dangle. And today,
yes.
we are going to be talking about cryptids. And what we did is each one of us took one of our favorite cryptids that we're interested in, and we're going to present it to the rest of the boys here. So we'll have 5 of them today, and hopefully you guys will learn some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
6 pedals, 1 pod.
Oh, my God. Lotus!
I
I knew
seriously
that'd be
thought
that.
we were doing our favorite episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, shit. Let's do it. We just act those out, though.
Alrighty, so I guess you guys are about to hear 5 summaries of Bordello of Blood.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Demon Knight could be in there, too.
Oh, dude, that's what I would.
Yeah.
I love Demon Knight.
Yeah, I kind of misheard it too. I dug up my grandpa because I thought he said, pull out your best crypt tits.
And you thought of your grandpa.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into our topic for today of cryptids. Who wants to talk about their cryptid first?
It's really not crypt tits.
I mean, you can go ahead and read what you wrote up about it if you want to.
My favorite dead porn star by the Tooth.
Oh, my God, yes.
Jacking off to her is like not even a problem until you realize she's a sport zombie now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They're everywhere. Honestly, when you think about it, and those undead, sagging crypt tits of hers, she's just a fucking sport zombie in the ground now, and time to plant my seed and move on.
Okay.
All
All right.
righty,
All
nice
right.
job,
I like
too.
that. I like that.
I feel like you could have read that at like one of those like open mic poetry.
Oh, my God, yes.
The dude on the bongos in the back. Toof, thank you for not mentioning that porn star that killed herself like a week ago. That's really where I thought you were going.
Oh, I didn't even know that happened.
Actually, I was just thinking of old dead porn stars.
Yeah.
Not you, August Ames, rest in peace.
Okay.
Is that the one that killed herself? Oh, gotcha. I didn't even know that.
Alrighty, Primo, you're up, brother.
So I had the Jersey Devil.
Nice. AKA
Silent Bob.
the situation. Oh,
No, fuck
the
yeah.
situation.
Yeah. So, and
Oh, never mind. I thought you said Jersey retard. That's not even funny. I had nothing clever.
It works every time.
the Jersey Devil is a legendary and terrifying creature said to call home the Pine Barrens of southern New Jersey. The most common description is a kangaroo-like creature with goat head, wings, small arms with clawed hands, and a forked tail. It is supposedly quick-moving and lets out a blood-curdling scream, and I wrote that it probably sounds like Stork Bitch calling down rolls.
Yeah, we just work with an old lady who looked like a stork, and she was a bitch.
Yeah, and she was very annoying. Her voice was probably what I'm guessing this sounds like.
So, Toof, real quick, did you have a joke or something you want to say?
I don't know. I just kept thinking some dude in New Jersey, like, you know, when Jason Mewes, and he like tucks his shit in. He's like, "Would you fuck me?"
Oh,
I was thinking the New Jersey Devil does that, but then he like pulls out his nipples, like, and that's I was laughing at that.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
really it.
In 1735, a resident known as Mother Leeds was pregnant for the 13th time, so she's had more semen in her than Toof's socks.
Oh yeah.
fucking giving Rod Stewart a fucking run for his money.
Also, Toof was just talking about, like, weren't you just talking about, like, spilling seed or something? Like,
Yeah.
for the porn star, so that actually worked out pretty well.
Fucking socks harder than kryptonite.
Her husband was a drunk who did not support the family, and it was already tough enough with the 12 children, so the upcoming arrival of the 13th was really stressful. For some reason, which makes no sense at all, the mother throws her hands up to the heavens and says, "Let this one be a devil," which I don't know why that would, help anything out.
And it worked. And that kid's name was...
It was Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yes, dude.
All right, nice. And you said the father was a drunk, so I guess for the third week in a row, we're going back to Whitechapel, it sounds like.
Yeah, it does. Actually, I was going to crack a joke about that, too. But on a stormy night, Mother Leeds gave birth to a seemingly normal child for the first couple minutes. And then the fucker turned into that devil that she wished for, killing her and almost all the rest of his family. Then flew away and was not heard from again except for random sightings, which I'll go into. But
yeah, I heard after he killed his family and everything, he wasn't seen except for on his stoop that he refuses to leave from.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Stoop kid. This all explains Stoop kid.
What was the kid's name? Did I say?
No, they never said.
Oh.
Crack jokes about it being like named like Damien or something like that.
This is for you, Damien.
I feel like it's always going to be Damien.
Yeah, probably.
You know what they say, man? It's always that fucking 13th kid. They always cause so much shit.
Yeah, that's what they... Yeah, they do say that.
That's a common phrase,
They
yeah.
do say-
It's like you got your terrible 2s and your evil 13th.
That
trying to think of a word that rhymed with 13.
There.
So Steve Martin is okay.
Oh, fuck yes, he is. He only had 12, I think, right?
Spence. Are you fucking kidding?
That's just a cheaper by the dozen joke, right? Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
You know
He
what?
was one away.
You don't see like the next Cheaper by the Dozen movie is just him just pulling out. He's like, no. All right,
Okay.
Primo, finish her up or continue.
All right, so, this is actually almost done. So most of the sightings, actually pretty much all of them besides just made up shit, was in 1909, and it happened in the middle of January. A trolley car in Haddon Heights, if that's how you say that, and a social club in Camden were both attacked by, supposedly attacked by the Jersey Devil, and the reports even made the newspaper at the time. Many other sightings were reported around the same time, as well as strange footprints that never were explained. Supposedly, the police even shot at the creature, but none of these stories are ever proven, and they're basically just stories.
What were his feet like again? Like, because they said he had the footprints left behind.
Yeah, they didn't really go into much about his feet.
Did he have hooves?
Yeah, I think they never really said much about the lower body that I saw. There were reports that a guy said that he eventually did that as a hoax, and that it was like a horse or something.
Oh, damn. I say that makes that video of that guy punching that kangaroo that went viral.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
This is for my 12 brothers and sisters, you some bitch. Wait, that would make him the 13th?
Yeah.
So that's what he does is the Jersey Devil. He just beats his shit out of kangaroos then, and it's just a guy.
So obviously, like many people just believe that it's just a boogeyman made up just for entertainment, just to scare kids and stuff. There is an episode of the X-Files titled "The Jersey Devil." It's pretty cool though, so definitely give that a watch. But besides that, that's all I had on it.
Horse legs. I know a certain James Ellsworth who has a horse cock.
Fuck yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton to that. There wasn't really that many sightings, but what do you guys think?
So he was supposedly the 13th son, and then he
Yeah.
turned into this thing, or what?
Yeah,
happened?
because when she said make this one a devil, apparently that they did it. They made it a devil.
Did she say that before she was pregnant? Or?
Yeah, it was while she was pregnant, but before she had the kid.
Oh, okay.
I like that, like, throwing her hands up and praying. Like, that was it. Like, that's it.
that's all-
the
that's all
fucking
she has.
devil.
That's all she had to do. Yeah.
That's all it takes, too.
I know that's how I got everything in my whole life. I just raised my hands and
That's how actually those chocolate covered coins, the chocolate coins that come covered that look like gold coins. That's how those are invented. By the way.
Let these be chocolate.
And they also fell out of a pregnant bitch's snatch.
Oh my god, yes. All like basically her saying that is like when Michael Scott yells, "I declare bankruptcy" in the episode of The Office.
Andrew, what are your thoughts on this?
I would just like cryptids. They're cool. I think all this shit's cool.
Andrew, how come you're not taking off your shoes? Something to hide there?
Oh fuck yeah,
I
dude!
never reveal my feet.
All of this is Andrew. All of ours are Andrew.
Alrighty, so that was the Jersey Devil. Who wants to go next? Toof.
This is the topic of the mermaid, with most of our sexy big planet covered in water.
Great start.
It's a little wonder that centuries ago, millennia ago, the oceans were believed to hide mysterious creatures, including sea serpents, hydra, SpongeBob, used rubbers, and mermaids.
Fuck yes, dude.
Merfolk, mermaids.
For a second, I thought you said Nermal. That Garfield cat.
Oh my god, yes.
Merfolk, mermaids and mermen, and I guess Mer from Impractical Jokers,
Oh my god, dude.
are, of course, the water version of a half-human, half-animal legends that have captured human imagination for ages.
Jesus.
One source, the Arabian Nights, describe mermaids as having moon faces and hair like a woman's, but their hands and feet are in their bellies, and they had tails like fishes, tits so petite due to no water gravity, and ornery attitudes because they have all those teeth and no Chipotle to eat.
Toof showed up to the podcast eating Chipotle. Fuck yeah.
Jesus.
Proves I'm not a merman.
That's true.
Damn, Toof.
Anyway, these creatures, half human and half fish in form, have existed for thousands of years, and the Babylonian deity Aeneas, the fish god, is usually depicted as having a bearded head with a crown and a body like a man, but from the waist downwards he has the shape of a fish. Sounds like my ex. Oh, he said the shape of a fish, not the smell.
Oh shit, dude, we all knew that one was coming, but that's fucking good as shit.
It was so predictable and so good. I love you, Toof.
Greek mythology contains stories of the god Triton, the merman messenger of the sea, and several modern religions, including Hinduism and Cannibalism, worship mermaid goddesses to this day. It was the reason that Starbucks adopted the mermaid as its logo.
Oh my god, yes, dude.
Many children are perhaps most familiar with the Disney version, The Little Mermaid, a somewhat clean, simple version of a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale published in 1837. In some legends from Scotland and Wales, mermaids befriended, even married humans. Mary Lau, in her book Seduction and the Secret Powers of Woman, notes...
Oh my god, dude. The little giggle.
Wait.
Dude.
What power do they got?
We'll send you to the island from the fucking Wicker Man. You'll find out,
Oh
dude.
my god, dude, don't.
I heard it's the bee's knees.
Oh shit, dude, yes.
She notes that mermaids are stunningly beautiful women who live under the sea. Their hybrid appearance is temporary, the effect being achieved by donning the skin of a fish. They must be very careful not to lose this while wandering about on land, because without it, they would be able to return to their underwater realm. Just show me something living from the sea that's either cute or doesn't smell like the Nile River after a pizza and beer shit fest.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Or a used condom depot, or the front of Mr. Krabs' underwear after finding my Fallout 4 bottle cap collection. The earliest known mermaid-like figure was likely the ancient Syrian goddess Atargatis, who watched over the fertility of her people as well as their general well-being. She, too, was human above the waist and fish below it, and accordingly associated with water. The Syrians bestowed Atargatis with the biggest, most sexiest temple they could muster, which came complete with a pond of sacred fish, which, if I had to guess, were Swedish fish.
Oh, yes.
But touch their goats and you're in trouble. Don't touch me in my bad places. In folklore, mermaids are often associated with misfortune and death, actually, luring dipshit horny sailors.
Oh, yes, dude.
They lure these dipshit ass horny sailors off course and even to like rocky near the shore death traps.
All right, well, real quick, do a moment of silence for Papa Green.
Oh, my God, yes. I mean, I'm just glad that Andrew survived. I was playing Andrew.
All right.
They also lead them to the Rocky movies.
Oh, God, dude. Something led me to those.
Did they sex up the sailors? No, they ate the bodies. Sometimes they take their bones and hair and make banjos.
The fuck, dude? This is just fucking From Dusk Till Dawn now?
So once again, just like mine and Andrew's old apartment, no sex.
Oh, shit, dude, yes.
Enough about mermaids. What about the lesser known, the mermen? Come on, they exist too. Though not as well known as their sexy siren female counterparts, there are, of course, mermen. They're real.
Yeah.
And they have an equally fierce reputation for summoning storms, some fucking how, sinking ships and drowning sailors. One especially feared group, the Blue Men of the Minch, are said to dwell off the coast of Scotland. They look like ordinary men, from the waist up anyways, with the exception of their blue-tinted skin and gray beards. Local lore claims that before laying siege to a ship, the Blue Men often challenge its captain to a rhyming contest. If the captain is quick enough of wit and agile enough of tongue, he can best the Blue Men and save his sailors from a water grave. I actually have a YouTube video of one of these incidents happening in 1845.
All right, let's hear it, Toof. Go ahead and hit play.
I see that you have come upon our shore. You must say a rhyme to protect your lives. You can save your life with a wicked rap on your ship, but if you turn and press me, I'll eat you and you'll become merman shit.
Arr! Alright, check it. Aye, little fish boy, stinky little bitch boy, ain't dying today, so you better make way. Captain Carnell flow rhymes so quick. Me, I smell me sperm stained drawers, but you're making me sick. I kill a fish for a living, so don't make me catch a lick. You can't call yourself a man, cause you ain't got no dick.
Oh my god. Dude, yes.
I love that this podcast has gotten to the point where Toof rap battles himself while we sit around in awe.
Dude.
That's pretty much all I got.
Dude, Toof,
I was gonna
great.
I was gonna look at like the last known mermaid sighting, but I just forgot.
All right, nice job, Toof. That was super cool. That was really funny
You
and
did good.
informative, dude.
I'm glad
liked
I
it a
went
lot.
before you.
The dragon one was called Imagine Dragon.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
Alrighty, so I am up. And I was originally going to pick the Black Eyed Kids because they're really interesting to me, but it turns out that after a little bit of research, they were actually just the Jackson 5. So Joe Jackson liked to beat the
yes.
shit out of those little bastards.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It was either the Jackson 5 joke, or I was going to say that they were actually just a bunch of regular kids, and they didn't become the Black Eyed Kids till after they hung out with Andrew.
Not a Black Eyed Peas joke.
No.
So I thought we were going there.
Well, I figured it's almost the new year, and for some reason, every fucking year we have to get brought into it by the Black Eyed Peas. I really didn't want to mention them.
I agree with that completely.
They do the countdown?
Yeah. Well, not the count. Don't they do like they sing in it, right? Or,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So if we're not mentioning the Black Eyed Peas, that means tonight's going to be a good night.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
Come on, Kev, let's get it started.
Alrighty, so I'm going to be talking about the Melonheads. The Melonheads, they're some pretty cool guys, with sightings mostly in Michigan, Connecticut, and Ohio. So OH.
I-O.
So next time you're in the Cleveland area or in Lake County, keep an eye out for my dudes, the Melonheads. Now these guys, they're seen as humanoid or human-like creatures with enormous heads, and they look swelled up and unnatural. And depending on the state or area that you're in, the legend is different, so I'm going to be focusing on the one in Ohio.
They're also very sour. That's
You
just,
son of a bitch.
that's just a candy, right?
Yeah, we
okay.
fucking stupid. No, that's Lemonheads.
Damn it, dude! I thought
But
it was
still-
fucking Melonheads. There, all right.
Literally, you rearrange a couple letters.
That's true. I was close enough.
So primarily, the sightings of these guys are around Cleveland and the suburb of Kirtland, or sometimes I heard in Chardon, Ohio. And a fun fact, John Popper of Blues Traveler was born in Chardon. Now, the urban legend about this area is that supposedly, before the Melonheads were Melonheads, they were orphan children that were being, quote, taken care of by some sort of mysterious doctor. Sometimes he's referred to as Dr. Crow, Trubiano, or Dr. Melonhead, so we're just going to call him Dr. Crow. And this started around like the 1940s or 50s, I've seen.
Dr. Crow is definitely the coolest of the three.
Yeah, it's definitely the creepiest name.
Trubiano, that sounds like a last name from somebody from a sitcom. Am I right?
Yeah,
Joey?
like Joey.
Okay, gotcha. All right, yeah. What is it? Which one is that from Friends?
How
Full
you doing?
House.
Yeah, okay, or
Wait.
no, Full House.
Oh yeah, no, it's Friends. It's
Is
Friends.
it? What,
How you
Holy
doing?
shit!
So Dr. Crow, medicine woman. No, I'm just
yes, dude.
So Dr. Crow was said to have performed weird and unusual experiments on the orphan children, and for that I thank him.
About time. Good.
I mean, it's just kind of, as wrong as it sounds, at least finally someone got some use out of orphans. I'm joking.
God,
That's not
yes.
funny. That's mean. So the experiments then caused the children's heads to get enlarged and lose their hair, also making their bodies get misshaped and mutant looking. And there's also a rumor that the orphan children were suffering from hydrocephalus, where there's an accumulation of cerebrospinal fluid within the brain, and Dr. Crow had injected even more fluid into their brains, thus creating the Melonheads.
I just keep thinking of Stewie.
While researching this, I thought it was actually going to be another relation to Whitechapel, but it was hydrocephalus and not hydrosyphilis.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
So even though their heads and brains appeared enlarged, they were sometimes referred to as being mentally slow or like retarded.
I was gonna say these kids are. It is kind of close to Whitechapel because these orphans are probably worth about 3 pence.
Jesus.
So there is another twist in the story or theory, though. Some say that Dr. Crow actually made a deal or stole human patients from a mental institute and then did the experiments on them. So that's kind of a cool twist to it also.
Yeah.
And one more variant on that story is that the Melonheads eventually turned on the doctor, killing him and burning down the cabin that he did the experiments on them in. So there is a lot of different stories. A lot of them revolve around the doctor or someone doing experiments on them, and then they either turn on them or the doctor dies, then the kids run around loose.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is these kids are ungrateful fucks, huh?
Oh man, yes.
I mean, I guess. And there is another theory, and that is that the testing done on the human subjects was all part of a secret government testing, and the government needed them to be taken care of and shipped away to a secret location out in the woods, so they chose Kirtland or somewhere else in northern Ohio. And for the most part, the Melonheads are said to just keep to themselves and not cause any outbursts or trouble. And then you also see reports of the complete opposite. They run around like ripping shit up and stuff. But sometimes one or two will sneak away from their secret village in the woods, and then they head out toward modern civilization. And although curious, most end up getting scared by what they see, and they head back to the woods. And there are many different sightings and videos, supposedly. And on a lot of those, most people just say how offensive it is, and you're just making fun of handicapped people. For real, that's what most of them are.
Yeah.
And some claim that they're just inbred rednecks and mutants, which isn't very nice. So maybe they really are retarded mutants or handicapped people with big heads. And if that's the case, then my apologies to Drew Carey and his big fat ass head.
Fuck yeah,
Oh, yeah.
dude.
There is a reality show about this.
Yeah.
It's Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh yeah.
Wait, melon heads or melon asses? You nasty bitches.
But that's pretty much all I found. That was just the Ohio one. There are different ones for different areas.
I had a cousin who's kind of simple, but he tried to become a melon head.
Yeah.
He found a bee's nest, and he like poked like a 3-inch hole in it. He went inside.
Oh yeah.
Wrong head, Bill, you fucking idiot.
And that explains how he died in the movie My Girl.
Dude, I was thinking that too. Dude. If you ever walk in and you see all 5 of us sitting here with erections, it's because we just got done watching the end of My Girl.
Oh fuck yeah. Put his glasses on.
Put his glasses back on.
Me and Toof went to the same thing.
Every time that scene comes on, me and Tim always fight over the pillow, put it over our crotch.
One of you has to. One of you uses the pillow to cover up. The other one just puts glasses on your boner.
Put the glasses on.
The glasses with the mustache and nose.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
I did the Mokele-mbembe, I think that's how you say it. And it means the one who stops the flow of water.
Ooh.
It's said to look like a sauropod dinosaur with like a long neck. But, you know, they think they're located in like the Congo, Cameroon, and Gabon in Central Africa.
Yeah, I heard Ice Cube went out there on the fucking
What?
anaconda.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Yes.
The size is, you know, it varies, but they like think the main body is like a hippo size or elephant size. But I guess the neck ranges from like 16 to 32 feet.
Nice.
Holy shit.
And the whole body's like 75 feet long, they
Damn.
say.
Damn, she can give some good neck.
Oh, come on.
The color, they say, is like it's like gray to brown, but they don't really know for sure because it varies. But they say it makes no sound. But then I read other times that it's really loud, so it's hard to determine whether it makes noise or not.
So it's either a Prius or not a Prius.
Well, it's probably great. Well, back then, never mind.
What were you going to say?
Just back then, everything was black and white. Sorry, Andrew.
Oh no, you're good. Its diet mainly consists of plants, like mainly it said the Malumbo plant. I don't know what that means, but it must be a plentiful plant there. Spends most of its time under the water unless it's ready to eat or moves to another part of the river that it's in.
Moves to another river to go stop the flow of water there.
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, I was gonna crack a joke about it being switched to Wumbo.
I almost said this, like not joking, but I was about to say he's like the real Snorlax.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
dude.
true though.
But it's like not real. We don't know. It could
Neither one of them are
possibly be.
real
I mean,
though.
Snorlax is
But you never
real.
know.
Yeah, we don't know. It could
You
be
don't
real,
know.
dude.
Snorlax is the fucker that's always sleeping, right?
Yeah, he's that
Mm.
big
little
fucker.
prick.
Can't wake that son of a bitch up, man.
I know, man. I don't even know how to fucking wake him up.
That's why I quit playing Pokemon Red, dude.
Don't
Never
you,
got past
don't you
that,
just
just
have to,
joking.
don't you just have to get a Pokemon that wakes him up or something like
You
that?
get the Pokeflute and
You have to get Mr.
Lavender
Mime,
Town.
and he fills him up, and then
Oh, fuck
Snorlax
yeah,
casts Nightmare Squirt.
So he just blows his load everywhere. But apparently the creature fucking hates hippos. Like, well, if it finds one, it will go attack it and fucking kill it.
And that's amazing because hippos are freaking scary.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
fucking super scary.
Hell
I'd
yeah,
love
they
to
are.
see those battles.
It doesn't ever really say why they don't like hippos. Well, probably just because they're another competitor in the water, I guess. But
But there's
That battle would be almost as good as Mecha Shark versus Giant Octopus.
Fuck yeah.
but they have the body of a hippo, or he's said to have.
the same size, close to that,
Oh,
or an
okay.
elephant. I mean, there was a ton of sightings, and like the earliest one was in 1776. But really, that first sighting was just a giant footprint, and they're just like, wow, this thing's huge. We don't know what it is. It's bigger than the other stuff here, so they weren't sure what it was.
Nice.
I picture the guy who like found the footprint drawing this thing. Like he sees a footprint
fuck
and this is
yeah.
what he fucking drew.
Yes.
I picture that scene from the Ferris Bueller guy Godzilla movie where he's just standing in the giant footprint
Oh, fuck,
and the
dude.
helicopter shot pans up and he
Fuck yeah. I hate that movie. Matthew
movie
Broderick.
sucks.
Yeah, that one sucks, dude.
Well, most of the like sightings and stuff were them just seeing it like in the water, pretty much like the Loch Ness stuff. But they don't really have, they don't have any actual physical evidence,
yeah.
pictures or anything.
Mm.
So that's pretty much just like 60, 70 years of them just seeing that, but never being able to like prove anything.
Never.
But there was one that I actually found that I liked. That apparently this one tribe was setting up this because they kept attacking their fishing spot, so they set up this like barricade with spikes on it.
Oh,
And apparently it went up and got stuck on it and wounded itself. So then they found it later and killed it and trapped it.
oh wow.
But then they ate it.
Ooh, shit.
And I guess I don't know if all of them, but majority of them got really sick and they died.
Wow.
So they say that the meat's like poisonous and
Oh, yeah.
nasty and shit. So I was like, that's weird. That's the only one that really any physical shit happens.
I wish that when they ate it, they just had to react to the movie Jason X. Or fuck no, it's Jason Goes to Hell. Damn it.
Oh yeah.
Never
yeah.
mind. I got the movie
heart
wrong because
thing?
they eat his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, wait, no, that's not the right movie. But
What
yeah,
what
it makes
country
him
is this
kill
in? Is
people.
this Africa or
This is like Central Africa, like Congo and stuff, like where it's super rainforesty and
okay.
shit.
not to like I don't know if this is deep or not, but like I believe like some of this shit really is real.
Oh, hell
Because
yeah,
like
it is.
I was watching Dirty Jobs the other day,
Fuck yeah.
and he was like in like Louisiana, no, in Maine, they are like worm hunters, and they're like digging in this like fucking like straight mud swamp and pulling out worms that were like fucking 30 inches long.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, fucking look at that river monster.
What, are we looking at the Mongolian death worm now? Is that what we're
Oh,
gonna go
fuck
for?
yeah, dude. We
I
can't-
believe there's like giant fucking shit out there somewhere.
we can't forget about the Texas bullworm.
It's the Alaskan
Damn it, it was Alaska.
bullworm.
Damn it, I thought it was Texas. Damn it.
But I think the coolest part is like on each one of the like expeditions over there, because there was a bunch, but there was pretty much the same outcome every time. They never found anything, so I didn't really do all. There was like a bunch of names, and I didn't really want to write them all down. But each time they would show a picture of like some animals, and the locals wouldn't really know what they were. But then every time they showed a picture of like the brontosaurus sauropod looking thing, they always were like, "Oh, that's the Mokele-mbembe thing. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what that is." And I was like, "Okay, that's pretty cool." I don't know if they were
Yeah.
tricked into saying that, but I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, that was pretty much it.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, I like it.
I like
Sorry,
that.
I didn't have a bunch of jokes.
Ah,
and
no,
you
you don't
guys
have
did it.
to.
Yeah, it was good.
You really don't have to make it funny. I really like that, dude. That's cool.
It was good. I liked it.
So I'm sorry. What's it called again?
Was it Mokele-mbembe?
Mokele-mbembe.
Spencer's got it down more than I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Spence, you're up, Juggalo.
Oh, yeah. Spoots.
There
Juggalo,
we
clap,
go.
clap.
This description comes from prairieghosts.com.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that.
So credits to them for this good write-up.
That site is just all the episodes of Little House on the Prairie. They don't play anymore.
Oh, fuck
Sorry,
yeah,
go
dude.
on. I'm sorry.
It's the final seasons of that show.
This website is like because of net neutrality, they go out and come back in and go out and come back in. It's
Because of that new channel.
prairie dog in it.
Prairie.
Fuck yes, dude. Yes.
We're off to a good start already.
We are.
The Wendigo from the North Woods of Minnesota. While this creature is considered by many to be the creation of horror writer Algernon Blackwood in his classic tale, The Wendigo, this woods spirit was and is very real to many in the northern woods and prairies of the state. Many legends and stories have circulated over the years about a mysterious creature who was encountered by hunters and campers in the shadowy forests of the upper regions of Minnesota. In one variation of the story, the creature could only be seen if it faced the witness head-on because it was so thin that it could not be seen from the side. The spirit was said to have a voracious appetite for human flesh, and the many forest dwellers who disappeared over the years were said to be victims of the monster.
Ooh, it's creepy.
Shall I continue?
Go on.
What state was this in? Minnesota? Wisconsin?
Minnesota. The American Indians had their own tales of the Wendigo, dating back so many years that most who were interviewed could not remember when the story had not been told. The Inuit Indians of the region called the creature by various names, including Wendigo, Witigo, Witiko, and Weetigo, but each of them was roughly translated to mean the evil spirit that devours mankind. Around 1860, a German explorer translated Wendigo to mean cannibal among the tribes along the Great Lakes. Native American versions of the creature spoke of a gigantic spirit, over 15 feet tall, that had once been human but had been transformed into a creature by the use of magic. Though all of the descriptions of the creature vary slightly, the Wendigo is generally said to have glowing eyes, long yellowed fangs, and overly long tongues. Most have a sallow, yellowish skin, but others are said to be matted with hair. They are tall and lanky and are driven by a horrible hunger. But how would a person grow to become one of these strange creatures?
I never knew it was. I never heard it as being human before. I didn't know anything about it though, but I never knew that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a creepy one, too. Like a lot of stuff. I like it.
According to the lore, the Wendigo is created whenever a human resorts to cannibalism to survive. In years past, such a practice was possible, although still rare, as many of the tribes and settlers of the region were cut off by the bitter snows and ice of the North Woods. Unfortunately, eating another person to survive was sometimes resorted to, and thus the legend of the Wendigo was created. But how real were or are these creatures? Could the legend of the Wendigo have been created merely as a warning against cannibalism? Or could sightings of Bigfoot-type creatures have created the stories? While this is unknown, it is believed that white settlers of the region took the stories seriously. At times, they even took the sightings and reports quite seriously and made it enough of the local culture that stories like those of Algernon Blackwood were penned. Real-life stories were told as well, and according to the settlers' version of the legend, the Wendigo would often be seen, banshee-like, to signal a death in the community. A Wendigo allegedly made a number of appearances near a town called Rosesu in northern Minnesota from the late 1800s through the 1920s. Each time that it was reported, an unexpected death followed, and finally, it was seen no more.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely digging that. And I wish that they would make like a super good horror movie out of this.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
Because I would watch that.
What year did this exist?
It's always existed.
I mean, like, started, I guess, origin? Like
Earliest
1900s?
I mean, the Indians have been talking about it since before
they didn't
the white
remember.
people were here.
They said they didn't remember like when it wasn't talked about.
I think it started in like the late 1800s or so. And because I had that group, that party. Okay, this is just going to be a Donner party
Oh,
joke.
fuck
I don't
yeah,
even feel
dude.
like getting
Yeah.
to it. Continue, Spence. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That story does. I mean, really, if somebody makes the super good horror movie Timmy was talking about, it should probably be like a mixture of this and the Donner Party.
Yeah,
That'd be
that would
sweet.
make sense. Yeah.
There's another group, but it was just kind of like, it was kind of there, but no one really cared about it. It was just the Don Cheadle party.
Oh yes.
Does anyone really like that guy, or is he's just all right?
Is he the black guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's the current war machine.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's in a lot of stuff, but he's not.
But he's just never.
Yeah, he's never like the main person.
Like if I saw him out somewhere, I'd be like, fuck, I really don't care.
Yeah. Do I
Like
want
it
daughter?
wouldn't be like seeing anyone else.
Even into the last century, Native Americans actively believed in and searched for the Wendigo. One of the most famous Wendigo hunters was a Cree Indian named Jack Fiddler. He claimed to kill at least 14 of the creatures in his lifetime, although the last murder resulted in his imprisonment at the age of 87. In October 1907, Fiddler and his son Joseph were tried for the murder of a Cree Indian woman. They both pleaded guilty to the crime, but defended themselves by stating that the woman had been possessed by the spirit of a Wendigo and was on the verge of transforming into one entirely.
Wow.
According to their defense, she had to be killed before she murdered other members of the tribe.
He was 87 when he got convicted of that.
That's right.
At that point, I would just like, if you know you're fucking going to prison, I'd be like, dude, just shoot me, just kill me now, because you're going to prison. You already lived pretty long life. Just kill him.
So
That movie we're talking about, it's going to be called Jack Fiddler Wendigo Hunter.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude, I like that.
So this Indian guy was an older, above 60-year-old Indian guy with an Indian son named Joseph, and he attacked a woman possessed by a demon. Was the demon actually her husband, and was his name Dale Gribble?
There's actually
Wait, is that just the King of the Hill, John?
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
Joseph being Indian.
there's actually a guy over.
Oh, I get that. Okay.
There's a guy over in London who used to go around at night, and he would just like sneak up on girls, and he would like stick his finger in their ass. But he just went by Jack the Fiddler.
To escape, he'd climb on the ceilings of the houses, or or the roofs, if you want to
Fuck
say.
yeah, dude.
Hey diddle diddle, the cat played the fiddle.
He smeared his shit-stained finger on the chimneys. That way, when it burned, the
fuck
soot
yeah,
would cover up
dude.
the shit smell.
Yes.
He was also a villain in a Batman porno, The Fiddler.
Oh, very good.
Holy shit.
There are still many stories told of Wendigos that have been seen in northern Ontario, near the Cave of the Wendigo, and around the town of Kenora, where a creature has been spotted by traders, trackers, and trappers for decades. There are many who still believe that the Wendigo roams the woods and the prairies of northern Minnesota and Canada.
Nice.
Whether it seeks human flesh or acts as a portent of coming doom, it's anyone's guess. But before you start to doubt that it exists, remember that the stories and legends of this fearsome creature have been around since before the white man walked on these shores. The legends had to have gotten started somehow, didn't they?
Ooh, I like that.
Written by someone named Troy Taylor in 2002.
Nice.
I always thought Wendigos were female because that one song, "If you love her, then you gotta Wendigo."
Perhaps the Windigo ate your baby.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of The Brothers Commonplace. If you'd like to help us out, please leave us a review and a rating on whatever service you use to download the podcast, but especially iTunes. If you use that, that helps us the most. But anywhere you find podcasts, leave us a review, leave us a rating. And if you'd like to send us some feedback, please do. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Leave us comments, give us suggestions. We want all of that.
We're on Stitcher?
Yeah, I mean, we are, but we don't promote that or really use it.
Oh, okay, because I saw it and I was like, we never talk about this. Is this where the basement cuts are? Is this where like, the deep shit is? Or?
You can find us there. You can find us on CastBox. You can find us on, I don't know.
And also, all the podcasts, other podcasters that are listening, leave us a review on iTunes and mention your podcast, and we'll give you a listen, and we'll give you a 5-star review right back. And special thanks to everyone that has been listening and sharing, everyone on Twitter that keeps us involved. We love all that cool stuff. And, yeah, you guys have been super awesome, so thank you very much.
I agree.
Tell the other podcasts out there, you like and review our stuff, and heck, man, I see that stuff pop up all the time. I listen to all your guys' podcasts.
Yeah.
I enjoy some of your guys' stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like our stuff, review it, man. Give me some more podcasts to listen to.
Yeah,
you guys out there.
I'm always looking for stuff to listen to at work, and I like checking out the new podcasts and stuff. But I mean, sometimes you don't know they're out there. So,
and also you can reach us at brotherscommonplace@gmail.com. And if you are another podcast, we would love to do a promo swap. We've played 2 promos on here already. We would love to play more. So email us, send us your promo. We'll send you one right back. And Andrew, got some words of wisdom, brother?
Sharing is caring.
oh shit!
Andrew hasn't moved for like a couple minutes. I thought he was like not feeling good or something. Then he just popped. He sat up like fucking Frankenstein.
Oh fuck
dude.
yeah! He sat up like the Undertaker.
The Undertaker.
1-on-1 with the Undertaker
In a tag team match, player. Alrighty, everyone out there, thank you for listening. Be good, stay safe.
Laugh at the dark stuff.
Me and Andrew are dominating the fart market over here.
Paycor knows HR teams are under pressure to recruit and retain top talent. You need more than HR tech. You need expertise at the core. Meet Paycor. Our technology saves you time. Our expertise helps you make a difference. Paycor.com/meetpaycor.
Let's say you just bought a house. Bad news is, you're one step closer to becoming your parents. You'll proudly mow the lawn, ask if anybody noticed you mowed the lawn, tell people to stay off the lawn, compare it to your neighbor's lawn, and complain about having to mow the lawn again. Good news is, it's easy to bundle home and auto through Progressive and save on your car insurance, which, of course, will go right into the lawn. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.